Africa's national parks, its scenery and wildlife represent a strategic comparative advantage for the continent. In many African states, the natural attractions form the cornerstone of the local tourism industry, benefiting both people and wildlife. However, many national parks and protected areas face an uncertain future. They suffer from the same constraints: a lack of financial resources and inadequately developed management expertise, both necessary for a successful business. At the same time, there is also significant pressure from surrounding communities who derive little benefit from the parks and hence use the wildlife and other resources in unsustainable ways. Already many of these parks have been lost forever. Some innovative solutions are appearing. One of these is the African Parks Foundation, an African solution to the continent's conservation challenges. It is the first private sector park management organization in Africa. By entering into public-private partnerships with governments and by combining world-class conservation practice with business expertise, African Parks offers a practical solution for the management of parks on a long-term basis. The organization places a strong emphasis on stimulating appropriate tourism and other income-generating mechanisms as a means of ensuring that the parks become financially sustainable, whilst also serving as a foundation for economic development and poverty reduction. By doing so, parks will have a chance of surviving in the long term. Taking on a management role means performing, on behalf of government, all the activities necessary for a proper functioning park. This includes restocking the park with species indigenous to the region, performing a law enforcement function to ensure the park is secure from illegal utilization, engaging with communities so that they benefit from the park, building the necessary park infrastructure, including administration facilities, roads and telecommunications, sourcing financial partners to fund the operations, bringing in commercial operators to build and operate lodges in a socially and environmentally responsible manner, and the collection of all revenues from the park, which are then ploughed back into operations. But African parks cannot do this alone. The nature of the work requires partnerships with individuals and institutions who are willing to invest in the parks for the public benefit. Perhaps the best example of this to date is the late Paul Ventnor van Vlissingen, a multinational businessman with a strong interest in conservation. He was intrigued by the concept of parks being managed according to business principles and committed the bulk of the initial funding to establish African parks.
Wij zien parken en natuurparken vaak nog als iets wat zo bijzonder mooi is. Maar het is niet alleen adembenemend mooi, het is ook ongelooflijk noodzakelijk. Hoe meer wij in de steden leven en hoe meer wij in de steden opgaan met ons dagelijks werk, hoe verder we afkomen te staan van wat uiteindelijk ook ons in leven houdt. Brood komt niet van de bakker. Brood komt van het land. En om dat brood op het land te laten groeien, heb je allerlei organismes nodig. Allemaal beesten nodig. Om het zaad te verspreiden. Om te bemesten. Om hele ingewikkelde chemische processen te vervoeren. Als dat geheel niet op een evenwichtige manier in elkaar past, gaan wij uiteindelijk zelf ook dood aan het gebrek aan kwaliteit van ons eigen huis. En daarom is het zo belangrijk.
Other significant contributors have been the Walton Family Foundation and the late Prince Bernhard of the Netherlands. In just 6 years, the African Parks Foundation is now responsible to the governments of 5 different countries for managing 7 national parks, with a total area of 2.5 million hectares. Furthermore, African Parks has been asked to take on the responsibility for an additional 6 national parks, the commitment to which is largely dependent on finding financial investors. The challenges in each are almost as diverse as the landscapes, but the results speak for themselves. African Parks is about results. Results in conservation, results in socio-economic development, and results in income generation. And to achieve those results, it needs partners who support its objectives. Only 6 years after its establishment, African Parks now has a meaningful presence on the continent and has demonstrated that national parks can be managed responsibly by a private organization in partnership with governments, and that the results can be remarkable.